In this video, we are going to continue with the coordinate geometry, but we'll just look at the gradient of a line segment and also the equation of a straight line. So begin with the gradient. So there are some basics that we need to look at the gradient. The gradient is just the steepness or the slope of a line. Okay, so now if we have, let's say, a line moving upward, this line has a gradient. The gradient must have a positive sign. So the gradient is denoted by small letter m, and the gradient can be found by finding the change in y divided by the change in x. Then the line that moves downward, this one has a gradient of, a gradient must have the negative sign. Then from there, a vertical line like the y-axis, if the line is vertical, a straight vertical line like y-axis has an infinite or undefined gradient. So has an infinite, it changes, or undefined. Then for a horizontal line like the x-axis, this has a gradient over 0. So these are some of the basics. So before even you find the question, if the question is given, find a gradient of a given straight line, you need to have some basics when answering. Like you need to have a picture of my answer should be positive or negative. So that is the reason why we began by looking at this. Now let's look at now some examples. So let's first look at the formula for a gradient. So the symbol for gradient is y, and we are saying the gradient is given by the change in y over the change in x, which is rise over run. Therefore, the gradient is given by the difference between y2 and y1 divided by the difference between x2 and x1. So let's find the gradient between point P and Q. Let's say we have P with coordinates negative 6, negative 4. Our Q has coordinates negative 3, 5. So here we have x1, x2, y1, y2. So now the formula is gradient is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So y2 is 5 minus y1 is negative 4 over x2 is negative 3, then minus negative 6. So you can see that we have 5, negative times negative, that is positive 4 over negative 3, negative times negative, that is positive 6. Gradient is equal to 5 plus 4 is 9 over negative 3 plus 6 is positive 3. 3 into 9 is 3. So the slope of P and Q is 9. Okay, now let's try to find the R and S, where our R has coordinates 5, 2. Our S has coordinates 7, negative 3. Feel free to pause the video and give it a try. Okay, so we'll begin by x1, x2, y1, y2. So the formula is gradient is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So y2 is negative 3 minus y1 is 2 over our x2 is positive 7 minus 5. So here on the top we are going to add, since we have the same sign, negative 3 minus 2 is negative 5 over 7 minus 5, that is 2. So this is our answer, or we can 2 into negative 5 is negative 2, remainder 1 divided multiply. So this is now our gradient. Okay, now for question 2, given that the gradient of the points A and B is 1/2, find the value of m. So let's say our A our B has -3, m, x1, x2. Okay, now the formula for gradient is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So now this time is a gradient is given, so where there is m, we are going to substitute with 1/2. So it's half is equal to y2 is m minus y1, this is we have our 2, over x2 is -3 minus x1 is 5. So we get 1/2 is equal to m minus 2 over, so from the denominator -3 minus 5 is -8. Then from there we are solving for m, we cross multiply. So here we have 2 times m minus 2. Then here is 1 times -8, that is just -8. Then from the algebra, the 2 will multiply with everything inside the bracket. So 2 times m is 2m, 2 times -2, that is -4, is equal to -8. Then we're going to move this -4 to the other side. So we have 2m is equal to -8. So the sign will change from -4 to +4. So you can see that we are going to subtract -8 plus 4 is -4. We divide by 2, also by 2. Therefore, the value of m is -2. So that is how you can find the point or a missing coordinate given the value of a gradient. Now let's move on. Let's look at now equation of the straight line. So equation of the straight line, you can find the equation by using the gradient point form. The gradient point form is given by the formula y minus y1 is equal to x open bracket x minus x1. So this is what we call the slope point form. Then you can also find the equation of the straight line when by using the gradient intercept form, and also there is another where you have the double intercept form. Now let's have an example when we use the gradient intercept form, I mean the gradient point form. So we are going to find the equation of a straight line where the gradient is equal to 3 that passes through the point -3, 6. So if you have been given a gradient and one pair of coordinates, so you can just assign this one to be x1, this one to be y1. So we are just going to do the substitution. Y minus our y1 is 6, our gradient is 3, open bracket x minus x1. So our x is -3. Then from there we can see that we first need to expand inside. So x negative times negative, that is +3. Y minus 6 is equal to 3, we multiply with x and second by 3. 3 times x is 3x, plus 3 by 3 is 9. So we have to shift this -6 to the other side. So we have y is equal to 3x plus 9 plus 6. Y is equal to 3x, 9 plus 6 is 15. So we can answer it like that. Okay, let's also find the equation of the straight line that passes through the point 4, negative 2, and the gradient this time is negative 3 over 4. So the formula is y minus y1 is equal to, so the y1 is negative 2. Our gradient is negative 3 over 4. Our x is 4. So you can see negative times negative, we get positive 4. Now here, we are going to expand. So we are going to multiply negative 3 over 4 times x, which is negative 3 over 4x. Negative times this negative, we get positive 3 over 4 times 4. So we can just say 12 over 4. So we can now see that negative 3 over 4x plus 4 into 12 is 3. Then we're going to move these two to the other side, where we have y is equal to negative 3 over 4x plus 3 minus 2. Our final answer is y is equal to negative 3 over 4x plus 1. Then the other way you can simplify this question from here, let's say from here, where we have y plus 2 is equal to negative 3 over 4x minus 4. So you can first get rid of the fraction where you multiply everything by 4. So this 4 will multiply with y, then the second one will multiply with this one, then the other party it will multiply by this one. So what we are saying is 4 times y is 4y plus 4 times 2 is 8 is equal. Now 4 times negative 3 over, so we can just cancel this. We have negative 3x minus 4. So 4y plus 8 is equal to, we can now expand it. So negative 3 times x is negative 3x, negative 3 times negative 4, that is positive 12. So we collect the like terms, so we have 4y is equal to negative 3x plus 12 minus 8. So 4y is equal to negative 3x plus we can see that here we have 4. 8 minus 12 minus 8 is just 4. We divide by 4 over 4 over 4. So when we cancel, we have y is equal to negative 3 over 4x plus 4 into 4 is 1. So we can see that so there are so many ways in which you can simplify a given problem. So it depends with the method that you feel is comfortable for you. Okay, let's have another one where the point that passes through. So let's find the equation that passes through the point. So negative 10, 5 and the origin. So and the origin. So let's look at this point. From this point we have been given this pair, and we have also been given another point where we have just been told the origin. So now what is the origin in forms of the coordinates? So the origin is always 0, 0. So x1, x2, y2, y1, y2. So whenever you hear origin, the coordinates are 0 and another 0. So here we have not been given the gradient. So what we are going to do is let's first find the gradient, because from the equation we can see that we need the gradient. So the gradient is needed. So let's first find the gradient. Gradient is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So the gradient now, y2 is 0 minus y1 is 5 over x2 is 0 minus negative 10. So m is equal to 0 minus 5 is negative 5 over negative times negative 10, that is positive 10. So if we reduce this one is negative 1 over 2 as our gradient. So we'll move now this gradient and we substitute where this m. So now let's proceed. Y minus our y1 is 5. Our gradient is negative half. X minus our x1 is negative 10. So from there we can simplify it. So what we are going to do is we are going to multiply by 2 so that we get rid of the fraction. So 2 times y is 2y minus 2 times 5, that is 10. Then this and this will cancel, giving us negative 1x. Negative times negative, that is positive 10. So 2y minus 10 is equal, now this will multiply with everything inside the bracket. So negative 1 times x is negative x times negative positive 10, which is negative 10. So from there we'll shift this to the other side. We have 2y is equal to negative x minus 10. Then the negative 10 will come negative positive 10 after shifting to the other side. 2y is equal to negative x, 10, and the 10 will cancel. So our final answer, we can leave it as 2y is equal to negative x, or we can divide by 2 and also here by 2, where our y is equal to half x. So you can leave your answer like this. Okay, let's look at the last example. Let's find the equation that passes through 3, negative 2 and 7, negative 3. So the equation, the formula is y minus y1. So we need first the gradient. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So y2 is negative 3. y1 is negative 2 over x2 is 7 minus 3. So here we have negative 3, negative times negative, that is positive 2 over 7 minus 3 is 4. So negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1 over 4. So our gradient is negative quarter. So now let's go back to our equation. Y minus our y1 is negative 2. Our gradient is 1 over 4. Our x1 is 3. So we can get rid of the fraction by multiplying with the 4. So I'm sure by now you have seen the pattern. So if you want to get rid of the fraction, you multiply the given number by the denominator from the gradient. So we'll first multiply 4 times y, 4y. Negative times negative, here we get positive. 2 times 4, that is 8. Negative 1 over 4 times 4, this will cancel. This is same as negative 1 over 4 times 4, where this cancels. So we have negative 1x minus 3. So we're going to expand. Negative 1 times x is negative x. Negative 1 times negative 3, that is positive 3. Then we're going to move our 8 to the side. We have 4y is equal to negative x plus 8 plus 3 minus 8. So negative x minus 5. So we divide by 4, also here by 4. Y is equal to negative 1 over 4 x minus 5 over 4. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.